Hello friends, welcome to SY Academy. Friends, in this video we will discuss a little stressful topic, signs that you might be laid off. In last 2 years, layoffs have become so common that people are stressful. Professionals are always worried that they might be laid off, right? And sometimes people are fired from their job and they are so worried, they are so stressful, they are unprepared. The purpose of this video is to identify signs and to make you prepared if you might be laid off from your current job. So, how to recognize the warning signs in your job and keep yourself mentally and also financially and also interview wise prepared if this situation is there in your company. Let's go to 10 signs that might be there and you might be laid off. See, generally layoff are planned. Okay, they are planned, they are not very random. Yes, in certain cases they are random also, but usually they are planned at the senior level. And generally people say that, oh, I don't know why this guy is laid off or why I am fired, I don't know about this. But there are reasons behind this, there are always reasons behind this. Since I am part of those discussions and was part of such discussions in various companies, so I could tell you those reasons. Let's go to one by one. So the first important thing is not receiving positive feedback. Please note the point that this is not about receiving negative feedback. I am saying in reverse way, not receiving positive feedback. That means nobody is praising you since a long time, right? People, okay, nobody has criticized you. That's one thing, but nobody is giving you positive feedback. See, you can say that, okay, people are giving me negative feedback. Here you can be prepared, right? That, okay, my manager is giving negative feedback, my colleagues are giving me negative feedback, my VP is giving me negative feedback. So you might be prepared. But there are second scenarios where people are not prepared, where your manager is not giving you positive feedback, no senior guy is giving you for positive feedback in your office. And why they are not giving positive or negative feedback? Because people are usually want to have good conversations, they don't want to be sound bad, right? So people or managers avoid giving negative feedbacks because it affects their work, right? And then they need to handle people also. And it is tough to say negative things in front of anybody, right? That's why people avoid giving negative feedback. So the point is, if you're not getting positive feedback from anybody or especially your manager, then it's a point of concern. Keep on having one-to-one with your managers, maybe every 15 days or 30 days, and keep on asking him in different ways, like, is there anything where I can improve? Is there something which is wrong in me, or is there something which will improve my career? Keep on asking those questions. This will give you idea indirectly, right? If you're not receiving a positive feedback, especially since long time, then it's a matter of concern, big concern. Please note. Second is your company is in loss, right? So friends, I have seen that people are making beautiful products. They are doing wonderful work, right? But their company is in loss. This is especially true for startups. They have limited funding, right, at the end of the day. And remember, every company has to earn profit. This could be quarterly profit, this could be yearly profit, right? And if your company is in loss, especially for more than 3 quarters, right? Then it's a matter of serious concern, and your team might be downsized, your company might be downsized, right? Anything could happen. Your company may be acquired by someone else, and then things can keep on changing, right? PayU was merged with Citrus long time back, and a lot of employees were fired. Similarly, in other organizations also it happened, right? Air India and Vistara are merged, but some of the employees are moving on, moving ahead, despite of the fact that Tata is saying there are no layoffs, but still people are going out due to XYZ reasons, right? Don't want to go into specific details, but if your company is in loss or some merger is happening, for example, Air India was in loss, right? And it was merged with Vistara, and now it's a joint entity of Tata and Singapore Airlines. So some of the employees are facing issues. So if your company is in loss, please, something is wrong. Then the second thing is your team is in loss. For example, Amazon is in profit, but it is in profit because of AWS. Google is in profit, but it is mainly profitable because of search and ads, right? But other businesses are in loss, right? So if other businesses are in loss, for example, Amazon, eco, right? Eco products or some other products like ad product of Amazon, right? For example, Airtel is there. Airtel is doing wonderful work. But what about Airtel Digital? If this is in loss, then the employees of Airtel Digital will face problems. So if your team is in loss, please be worried, right? Despite of the fact that you are doing a very good work, you are maybe an engineering person and you have done wonderful coding, right? But your team is not doing good work and your team is in loss. So there are issues, right? What you can do in this situation, one thing is keep yourself prepared, right? Prepare for interviews, right? Second is you can change your team also internally if it is possible. Remain in profitable business, right? It's at its end of the day personal decision, because sometimes your business is profitable but the work is not good, right? You might want to do good work in a loss making team, right? Could be possible, but I want to discuss these signs. If your team is in loss, be prepared. Okay, just this cannot be sustained, right? This cannot be sustained forever. You are a new team member, right? It is easy. Let's say I have to fire 10 employees. I will fire those on whom the dependence is minimum, right? On whom the dependence is minimum. And these are the new employees. Paytm recently fired a lot of employees. Mostly those were new employees. When Meta fired a lot of employees, they fired new employees, right? That was what happened there. So if you're new and things are not good in your company, remain worried. Earlier, the case was different. If the people who were new never used to get fired, but the things have changed, especially in last few years. Fifth is other team members don't give positive feedback. This is again a repetition of first point. Despite of the fact that your manager is giving good feedback, many companies are having 360 degree feedback. That means they take feedback from other team members also. And if you're not getting positive feedback from other people, especially other senior employees, managers, senior managers, VP, directors, if you're not getting positive feedback from them, you always get that sense, right? You always get that sense. You are not working in silos, right? So if that is happening, then it's a matter of concern, okay? Then you are just a manager. This is happening a lot. For example, let's take one engineering example, where you are, let's say, engineering manager, or you are associate or assistant vice president. You are just managing people. You are asking people what is the status, what you did yesterday. You are not hands on, you are not in touch with technology. Then you are at risk, my friend. See, recently it happened in Twitter, now it's X, right? A lot of employees, a lot of managers were fired because they were just managers. They were asking just questions or status updates. So make sure you are someone who is hands on. It is very important. It gives you confidence. It allows you to move companies because you are, since you are hands on, so you can change your job easily. Also, you are not easily fired. So this is seventh is your work does not directly contribute. Let me take you one example. Let's say you are working in, let's say, some IT company. In IT company, let's say you are working in maybe Paytm or Razorpay, right? And you are an ops person or you are a sales person, right? Your work is not directly related to what your company is doing, or you are just a marketing person, right? Your job is to do marketing, right? Then you are at risk of getting laid off or getting fired, especially when things are not going right, because you are extra employee. For example, you are in data science team, right? Data is for improving our system. Yes, it has its advantages in the long term. It has 10x advantages. Yes, data science team is having 10x advantages. but it's a peripheral business, right? You might get fired if things are not going fine in your company, especially if your job is not directly contributing to profit. So how to judge whether you are contributing directly or not? Are you creating profits or not? Then the eighth reason is you have moved to our team recently. Again, it is very related to if you are new, right? Despite of the fact that let's say you have 7 years experience in a company and you have recently done a wonderful work, but let's say you have changed your organization. So the organizations, big organizations such as Alphabet, such as Meta, such as Airtel, such as maybe Paytm, they have multiple teams or like multiple companies inside. So if you are moving from one company to another, let's say from Airtel to Airtel Africa, and you are considered a new employee, and if things are not going fine, then you might be fired. Ninth, you think differently than your boss. You are an awesome person. You think about profit, right? But your manager thinks about let's say engineering. Your manager thinks about product, right? You think in you might be thinking in a positive direction, and your manager might be thinking in another way, or you might be having long term thinking, and your manager is having short term thinking, or vice versa. Then it's a trouble. See, having different thinking or having different attitude than your manager never works. So always have one to one with your manager, ask him what is his or her expectation, and try to align with that. Try to justify why your expectations are different and come to a common point. This is very important. People ignore this. This is very important. The last reason is you gave resignation recently. What happens is you gave resignation, company company said that okay, we will let's say you are earning let's say 10 lakhs and you got a package of let's say 18 lakhs. Now your previous company is saying we will give you more, 20 lakhs, maybe in the next cycle, which is what usually happen in most of the companies. Sometimes company increase your package then and there, but it is sometimes only. Mostly companies say that in the next cycle we will increase your package or we will promote you in the next cycle, right? But you decided to stay, right? So let's say you were working in A company, you got offer from B company. A company retained you by giving you XYZ promises. Then you are in red flag or red book, right? Because your manager, your HR, they know that you might leave this company, right? Because you have already given one resignation letter, right? So it's like you have already given divorce notice, so you might give it again, right? And also you have lost some of the trust. So my suggestion is if you are giving resignation, right, leave that company then and there. If you have once decided, okay, maybe you can join back later, but at that point you should leave. Yes, there are exceptions when you are great employee or you are moved to some other team, you want to change your boss, right? You moved to some other team. There are those exceptions also. You don't like your boss, you are moved to other team, you are given better offer also. There are exceptions also, but usually the cases if you have given resignation earlier, then you might get fired or you will be in the top list whenever firing is happening. Okay, so remain in check. Okay, 10 reasons. Let me know in the comment section if you do not agree or if you think that there is another reason which is more important than these 10 reasons. If these 10 reasons are there, then please keep keep yourself prepared for the interview. Keep yourself mentally and financially prepared. Okay, thank you and take care.